said to the followers, go everywhere in the world, tell the good news to everyone, go everywhere in the world.
Go everywhere in the world, go everywhere in the world, tell the good news to everyone, go everywhere in the world.
Hello and welcome to Virtual Sunday School. I'm Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church. Today we're talking about a story of Jesus calling the first disciples. Now Jesus knew a lot of these disciples. He knew them from his living in Capernaum. He knew some because they'd been disciples of John the Baptist, and they'd come to know him through him. But now Jesus was ready to do something special. He was going to go and bring his ministry beyond Capernaum to many, many different towns all through northern Israel, the province called Galilee. And so Jesus went to the seashore where some of those people he'd met were fishermen. And he called to Andrew and his brother Simon, who's also known as Peter. And he said, come here, you're fishermen. I'm going to make you fishers of men. And he also looked at another boat where a man named Zebedee ran a fishing business. He had two sons, James and John. They also had some people they hired. He said to James and John, come here. You're going to be fishers of men also. So the four of them began to go with Jesus. You know, he called other disciples along the way too. One particular man called Matthew, he was a tax collector. He called him right out of his tax office. He also had a man named Philip, who was a friend of Andrew's. He had a man named Nathaniel, who he'd met also through Philip. One by one, people who knew friends of Jesus or who got to meet Jesus all started traveling with him. And you know, they made a sacrifice. They left their jobs. Sometimes they left their homes to follow Jesus and help him preach the good news. But you know, disciples aren't just people who lived 2,000 years ago. No, there's plenty of disciples, even today. All of us who seek to obey Jesus are disciples. We want to learn from him and follow his rules. You know, this church here is only here because there were a lot of people for almost 100 years taught about Jesus and made disciples. Behind me are pictures of many of those people. Take a look. Some consistory members from about 20 years ago. Whole bunch of church members who were disciples. Again, the picture is from about 20 years ago. We're here because disciples who went before us. And when we're really Jesus' disciples, we'll teach other people to be disciples as well. That way the Church of Jesus will keep on going long after we're not around anymore. Are you a disciple of Jesus? If he told you to leave your normal life, would you go and follow him? Will you obey his regulations? Listen to his teachings and try to be like him? More importantly, will you teach others to do the very same thing? We are disciples. Let's make disciples and follow Jesus just like the first disciples. Well, pretty soon, Elder Daria is going to show you a craft all about those first disciples who left their jobs on a fishing boat to follow Jesus. Come and watch Daria's craft. Thanks for listening. God bless you.
Good morning. This is Daria, Elder Daria, and I'm here to do the craft on the 12 disciples. The disciples were men that listened to Jesus preach, and the more they listened, the more they were inspired to follow Jesus. The disciples believed and wanted to be like Jesus and follow his words and the teachings and his teachings, which were to love God above all and to treat others as they would like to be treated. So since Jesus taught from a boat in one situation, we're going to make a boat like this, okay? And I'm going to show you the steps as we go along. You can use paper that has white paper, any colored paper, even newspaper. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is to bend the paper in half. So that means you get the corners together. Okay, good. And then you press the crease here. And then the edges are on the bottom. So where it's bent, you're going to bend it in half again. So, but not completely. You're going to just bend it so that there's a little spot here where you're going to make a crease. Okay. And after that, you're going to take each of these corners here, and you're going to reach to the center. Okay. So it looks like this. Here's the edges. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. So now you have sort of like a house-looking thing. Now what we're going to do is take each of these leaves here and bend it towards this corner. And then press it down so it stays down. So you've done this much so far. Okay. And now you're going to take this other piece and bend it in the other direction. So now I'm going to turn it over. So I'm going to bend it fold it that way. All right. And now, if this was a lot for you, you can put your fingers in here in between, and you have a sailor hat, you know. You could put this on your head if you like, if you're finished with origami. That's what this process is called. Otherwise, you open the hat and bend it. You put one corner into the other corner. You can do the same thing here. So we're taking the hat and we're going to bend it so that the 2 points come together. Okay. So what did I do? I took the hat, I opened it up, and then I brought these 2 points together. Okay. The 2 corners here. And in order for it to stay, I'm going to press on both sides. Do it as evenly as you can. There you go. And now we're going to do something similar with each of these corners. We're going to take this corner that's open and put it towards the center corner. Right. Now I'm going to do the other side. This is the free corner, and I'm pressing it towards the center corner. I press the crease, I make the creases. And then I put my fingers inside. So I had it like this. I had 2 triangles. But then I go inside, put my 2 thumbs in there, and pull. And now I pull these 2. It looks like a flower, but it isn't. Then I pull these 2 edges. And I have to fix it a little bit, because it's going to be a boat. This is what we want it to look like this. So right now it's in this position, and we're going to open it up. But what's holding me back is that I have to make a little crease here. Because when I open it, this part is so stiff it doesn't want to do that. So I put my hand fingers on the center, and then I kind of push it into both, so it looks like a boat. Actually, I can just go like this, press the whole thing. Right? And then you have a boat to remember that Jesus taught from a boat. And you could actually put it on water, as long as it'll be able to float for a little while until the water gets into it. It absorbs water, then it may sink. Think about why it would sink. What makes it sink? Right now, it wouldn't sink. If you put it in your tub, or when I was little, we put it in, there were streams or lakes, and we would play with the boats that way. It was a lot of fun. The other thing that we could do is I gave a printout of the 12 disciples anagram. So, and then there are words here that you can unscramble, okay, to remind you of this story. And if you want to, you can write the names of each of the disciples on the bottom or on the boat. I did that on this boat. I decided I wanted to have the names of each of the disciples. Okay, I did not give you a list They're written here if you want to look at that and copy it for yourself. Okay. All right. I'd like to say goodbye to you. I hope you enjoy this craft. Until next time, goodbye now. God bless you.